Okay, I'm just now getting out here. It's like 2 o'clock. I'm running super late. This is one of those days where you're like walking in and the wind is just driving right in your face and you're like, finally, a good wind. Seems like we finally got like a really good, steady, consistent wind after a bunch of stagnant days. We're gonna slip in here. I'm hunting the same bedding area that Jacob is. I'm hunting a different part of it. It's a huge cutover. So, see what happens. All right. I'm climbing the mountain. Check that out. The hills at home, man, they're steep. Just found this little cave. Make a pretty good little rifle blind, if I don't say so myself. As you can see, this land is just, of course, cameras never do it justice, but it's really steep. I'm climbing with my hands, getting up this thing. Right up there, as you can see, the big timber stops. Cutover right there. Yesterday, Jacob drove the edge of that cutover, and there was chasing tracks all over it. So we think that there's probably a hot doe in the area. Deer been chasing in here for sure. I saw a buck on the way in here crossing the road, big mature buck crossing the road at 1 o'clock. So they're definitely out here looking for does. So I think I'm gonna get on that transition up there. That bottom that I just came out of, it's where a big hollow comes down and meets the main creek bottom. It's just a bunch of buck sign in there, bunch of buck sign. So hopefully I can get on one of these cruising trails. We'll see. Go down. Go down, go down, go down. Oh my God. Yes. I think he's dead. I can see him over there. Yes, man. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh yeah. I can see him dead over there. I think he's dead. He went down. Oh, I'm gonna give him a little while just to make sure. I was afraid it might be kind of high, but I think I got a pass through. Came up here to this transition zone. Noticed some nice trails cutting back and forth through here. And there's this little draw that goes up into this cutover behind me, and I figured it would be a good bedding area. And as you saw from where I walked up, it's really, really steep getting up to the top of this hill. All kinds of rocks and boulders and all kinds of stuff coming up here. I figured that they'd be running this transition, one, because it's a transition, obviously, but two, because it funnels them, because there's big boulders, and I mean, it's so steep you could fall right off the edge of it. As you can see, I'm still in the tree. It's been probably 20 minutes since I shot him. He hadn't moved. He's dead over there, I'm pretty sure. I just had another buck come cruising by right here, and I didn't even think to grab the camera. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. But then I watched it. I can't believe I just got that on film. This is the first deer I've ever killed on film. But one thing before we go there to him, I wanted to tell y'all about is this cutover right here. This is what a lot of southern guys hunt, stuff just like that. And behind me, as you can see, just a big hardwood bottom. This is a cutover. It's probably, I don't even know, 10 years old maybe. Of course, it's got these decent sized pines in it. Nothing you can get a saddle or a stand in, but probably 6 inches diameter. This is great bedding cover, especially on days like today where it's kind of windy. Those pines break the wind really good. And, you know, we always see deer and stuff like this, but going in there and hunting them is just difficult, to say the least. And we've done a lot of hunting on stuff like this. And, you know, there's a faint trail just right here on the edge. I mean, just right beneath me right here. But both of those 2 bucks that just came through here were in the thick stuff about, I don't know, 10 yards or something like that. And, they weren't going to come cruising right down the edge. They're actually in the thicket, bouncing around through there, smelling up stuff, which is interesting. I guess technically, yeah, they are. They're on the downwind side of it. This valley runs that way. You can see it right there. That valley runs up that way, and we got a southern wind. That's north, so the wind is coming this way, blowing over that valley. Both of them came down from that valley, and they were wrapping around, walking into the wind. So I don't know if that really means anything, but for those who care, yeah, a little piece of information. He's done. Yes. Boom. Oh, that's what I'm talking about, baby. There's that hit. That's right where I put it. Oh, God. I'll take that any day of the week. So much work, hard work goes into that right there. Most unbelievable when it pays off. That's the late point. Definitely not my biggest buck, and that is A-okay with me. Especially with a bow. This is my best bow buck. I haven't killed many nice bucks with a bow. Shot him from right up there. Somewhere up in this. He was standing right here. I shot him from that tree right there. There's my arrow. Oh yeah. Whatever these are called, I can't remember now. QAD, broadhead. It's the second deer this year I've killed with this broadhead. Just touched it up a little bit on a regular old sharpening stone. She was ready to go again. There he is. Whew. Man, did I work for this thing. He's just like my buck last year, man. I killed my buck last year on December 14th, and it's December 8th today. So it's really the magic time for around here. And like I said, he ain't the biggest deer in the world, but he's mine. That's all that matters to me. One thing, there's another buck, a little bit smaller than this one right here, that came cruising through. And I didn't get him on film, sadly. But both of these bucks, man, they came through and they were on the inside of the thicket. They weren't cruising this pretty little hardwood area I'm sitting in now. You know, you can see the edge just right up over my shoulder. They weren't cruising necessarily inside the open timber on the edge. They were on the other side in the thick stuff. And, you know, I almost set up in the pine tree that this dang camera arm is strapped to right now. Just because these trails come out of that thing and they run around this knob that comes out on this ridge. And had I done that, he probably would have just kept going like the other one did, man. They never popped out into this stuff. They're using that thick cover to their advantage, and that's something that we've really taken to heart lately, especially listening to guys like Glenn and Jeff Homan and Adrian and all these different guys we've had on our podcast, man, who have killed a lot more deer and a lot better deer than we have. Is these deer use those thickets. Man, I couldn't agree more, especially after a day. It's just a heck of a freaking good lesson, dude. I'm so pumped. I'm thrilled to death, man.